to enter a place you've never been before.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Theo Tams and you are watching DiversityInTheCapital.tv.
Greetings, Ottawa, Canada. This is Chad Michaels from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Hi, Ottawa and Gatineau. I'm Carol Pope, and you're watching Diversity in the Capital.
Hello, Ottawa. It's your girl, Sofonda.
Hey, it's Eva Avila.
Hi, I'm Ria May, and you're watching DiversityInTheCapital.tv.
DiversityInTheCapital.tv.
Hello, Ottawa, Gatineau, and welcome to the new DITC Social here on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, blasterradio.com. I am so glad to have you joining me this evening. Tonight we'll be discussing some hot topics, but keeping them light and fluffy. I'm kidding. We're talking about alcohol. It's going to be amazing. So feel free to comment on whatever platform that you're on, and we'll bring you into the conversation. So, ce soir, nous discuterons de certains sujets, mais en les gardant amusants et en répondant à certaines de vos questions. Alors, n'hésitez pas de faire part avec vos commentaires, que ce soit sur la plateforme sur laquelle que vous vous trouvez, et nous ferons participer à la conversation. Now, before I get going, I'd like to pay respect to the Algonquin people, who are the traditional guardians of this land. We acknowledge their long-standing relationship with this territory, which remains unceded. We pay respect to all Indigenous peoples in the region from all nations across Canada who call Ottawa home. We acknowledge the traditional knowledge keepers, both young and old, and we honor their courageous leaders past, present, and future. Nous rendons hommage au peuple algonquin, gardien traditionnel de cette terre. Nous reconnaissons le lien sacré de longue date, l'unissant à ce territoire qui demeure non cédé. Nous rendons également hommage à tous les peuples autochtones qui habitent à Ottawa, que ce soit de la région ou d'ailleurs au Canada. Nous reconnaissons les gardiens des savoirs traditionnels, jeunes et âgés, et nous honorons aussi leurs courageux dirigeants d'hier, d'aujourd'hui et de demain. I want to preface this conversation by stating that this is a safe space and that our conversation today is based on mutual respect, openness, and understanding. So feel free to comment on whatever platform you're on, and we'll bring you into the conversation. We got a couple that have already started. We'll bring them in shortly. Je tiens à préciser que nous sommes dans un contexte sécuritaire et que la conversation d'aujourd'hui se doit d'être imprégnante et respect mutuel, d'ouverture et de compréhension. Alors, joignez-vous à la conversation en se mettant en commentaire sur la plateforme que vous êtes et nous vous ferons participer. Next Wednesday, February 24th, 2021, is going to be Pink Shirt Day. So, celebrated annually around the globe, Pink Shirt Day began in Canada in 2007 when two students, David Shepard and Travis Price, took a stand against homophobic bullying after a new year. 10 students. Price took a stand against homophobic bullying, and after a new year, 10 students harassed and threatened wore pink. Get your pink shirt now, and make sure you're ready for next Wednesday. I really do need somebody to review my scripts for me. It's been so crazy between show choir and the radio. Oh my God, it's just amazing, but it's keeping me busy. So, with over 5,000 views of this show alone, not counting our other platforms and not counting all the other videos that are on the page, over 40 guests on this show alone, the show is going to be taking a little change as of next week. More details are going to be coming. But we are going to have a RuPaul's Drag Race commentator. So they're going to come in and talk about all things RPDR, which I don't know and I don't understand. So what better to get somebody else to come in and do that and talk to you guys about it as well as myself. You all. I got to stop saying guys. As well as some LGBTQ2+ news, events, some community events that are going on throughout the community in Ottawa and Gatineau and wherever else. Community info such as hot topics, but fun ones, and food, where you can get the awesome meals of the week and beverages like we're going to talk about today. And speaking of food, I'm going to have to tell you about Saffron and Chives that are taking orders now for meals for this weekend, for Saturday. And it's delivered right to your house. All you have to do is warm it up. All right, so let's bring on our guest for today. We only have one guest, and then it's going to be all about the rest of you, and I'm going to keep him on here as long as possible. We're going to have a little bit of fun because we're talking alcohol. This week's guest, with over 10 years in the bar game, Jovan Morales-Young, knew something was missing in Ottawa. So, in 2018, he created a series of bar syrups to enhance the flavor of the nation's capital. Since Bar Daddy's inception, he has been creating syrups and catering throughout the city, bringing a firm spanking of flavor to those in need. Oh, John talks about a spanking corner every morning on the radio, so I know what that's all about. He's been named Ottawa's top mixologist by Faces Magazine, and we are currently on Ottawa's favorite radio station for Faces Magazine on blasttheradio.com. Please welcome to the stage, because he's actually in a virtual backstage, Jovan. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me on.
What's that?
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for being here. How you doing, Daddy? And can I call you Daddy?
Yes, you can. Bar Daddy's the full name, but you can call me Daddy for short. It's fine.
Bar Daddy, yes. So let's get off with the questions right away. So you used to work at Kinky, right? You were a bartender there.
Oh, it was a blast over there. But 4 or 5 years almost. So eventually had to tone it down a little bit.
All right. So you have stepped away a little bit while obviously the place is closed.
Yeah.
For the time being.
I think it's a full shutdown. I never got like final confirmation on the stuff, but I think the Lookout has taken over the space. Which, if anybody needs a bigger club, I'm happy to give it to Lookout. Yeah.
So were you part owner of that club, or you just bartended there?
I started.
And you don't have to say what you don't want either while you're on.
No. I'm an open book. So I just started as a server, and then within a month and a half, I became the general manager. And that's actually where my white streak came in. It was about like 3 months worth of basically like, for like taking like a little 10-minute break into the office every day to just like cry, hyperventilate, slap myself, and then get back to the circus. Eventually, they brought in another manager, and I was just the bar manager for 4 years straight. So it was they found a role that was a little bit better suited to my shenanigans and whatnot, and I became more of a mascot for the place, actually.
All right. Well, and actually, it was one of my comments later on, but you were in the Drake Jensen Burn the Floor video.
Oh my God, that was so much fun! Yeah, because we were doing Queer AF nights at Kinky every Wednesday with Thierry Papineau, and he managed to, I guess, rope Drake Jensen into using our space for it, and yeah, I still listen to that song maybe like once a week at least, or at least once a month. Drake's got a bunch of great stuff, so yeah.
Well, we've got Eric.
To play country in the car, but I'm allowed to play Drake Jensen, so yeah.
Well, I actually might play Drake at the end of the show, because Facebook always cuts off music, but I might play some Drake at the end of it. We got Blast the Radio that says Jovan is the best, and Eric Dion, known as Russian Noise.
Yes. Oh, he was our DJ for quite a few of those nights. Like, man knows how to keep people moving.
He does, and he's made several remixes for Mr. Jensen. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Do you want to tell us about the virtual Caesar with the proceeds going towards mental health? And I think you're going to make us one, right?
Yes, I am. So every year we do a Caesar pub crawl. And a margarita pub crawl and a mojito pub crawl. And they're always a whole bunch of fun. We get a lot of restaurants going into it. But this year, because we can't actually physically go everywhere, we decided let's just go full virtual. And with last year being a little bit, a little difficult for some people, and some people more than others, we decided to give a chunk of the proceeds to Ottawa Mental Health.
Right.
So we're going to be making Caesars in the kits. They come super, super simple to make. Like, literally, it's just you get your little bottle, you measure out, add your vodka, add your Clamato. But I want to show you guys what actually goes into my version of the Caesar. We're also got, Back to Brooklyn, the Blue Cactus, and Headquarters are also part of this kit. So everyone submitted different Caesar recipes. So you get 4 different Caesar recipes plus the Bar Daddy specialty, which you'll get to learn how to make right now.
So you're also selling these products, though, right?
Yeah. So if you go onto my my Facebook page, Bar Daddy by Jovan, there's going to be links in there. We have a 36-hour sale going on right now. So if you want to get it in, you get your discounted rate, and it's either pickup or delivery. And so the virtual event is February 27th. So it's next week. And
Yes.
we do small rooms of like 10 people or so. All the hosts play games. It's not just, hey, let's drink in front of each other. It's, oh no, let's socialize, let's have some fun, and the fun keeps going. They're scheduled for about 2 hours, but some of the rooms I know have gone on for about 5 hours. It all depends on how much fun the room is, really.
So you could just get a whole bunch of whatever friends you want to bring with you, like a small little group of folks.
Yeah, so you got your people that you want to drink and party with. You'll get a host, and they'll take you through all the makings and goings on. And if you want it to be, just like, just me and my 6 buddies that are all scattered out throughout different houses and stuff. You can have your own room and things. Otherwise, you get put in with a couple of randoms, or we try to group people into similar types of demographics and things, just so it's not, the moms and dads drinking with the college Yahoo kids.
Yeah.
Hey, a bit of random doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, well, you can talk more about that in a little bit, but all right, so show us this drink that you've got there.
You got it. So my Caesar starts off with, as all good Caesars should, a little bit of vodka. But this actually, so one of the things that people always mistake is they start with the booze, and I even instinctively went for it first. You want to add the booze last, and that's because if you make a mistake along the way, you're not wasting your most expensive ingredient. So we're actually going to start it with
that, and you should always leave your cap on the alcohol so you can shake it to make sure the alcohol doesn't sit in the bottom.
For vodka and things, it doesn't. No.
No, I know. I'm only pulling your leg.
Okay, good. Whew. I've had some weird questions from people that because I'm like, have you? Let me see your ID one more time.
Yeah, no, I speak fluent sarcasm. So Eric Rush is saying we're always crawling after we're done drinking with you, sexy. Apparently, you're a very good bartender.
I'm finally getting back into actual bars again. So yay! I'll get to drink and get everybody a little tipsy and fun having. But back to this little Caesar here. So we're going to start off with jalapeno brine. I make my own jalapenos, of course, because I have a lot of time on my hands right now. So just a little bit of jalapeno brine. Some people use some of the Caesars have pickled brine. Any kind of pickled something, it just adds a nice little kick to it that really, really helps the Caesars go along. So Worcester is how you pronounce it. I used to love making the joke that, the Worcestershire fish, and like, no, I don't have time for it anymore. It's called Worcester. It's spelled super complicated, but Worcester.
Brown sauce.
Simple. Yeah, the sauce.
Sauce. So you've actually convinced John Milkey to go and make a drink too from Blast the Radio. It was his birthday yesterday, so
I've been craving, and every time I go by the LCBO and I see the Pink Whitney stuff, I'm always curious to just like grab it. Is that like
his favorite
BPR like house drink?
No, it's just his favorite.
That's his favorite. Okay.
Drink. Yeah.
Yeah, I still have to make him a cocktail with that. I'm gonna experiment, but every time I go, I have like recipes, and so I've always buy a couple new bottles when I go. They actually know me at the LCBO. I'll be like, maybe I have a problem. I'm like, no, I'm a professional. I'm allowed to be known at my supply store.
I don't drink all these all in one day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, sometimes the JMO doesn't last long here, so I only get it like once a month, and it's gone in a day or two. So next thing we're gonna add in is a little bit of chipotle. So when you get the chipotles, they're usually in a can. Puree them up because that adobo sauce is really, really nice. And just a full teaspoon goes right in there. If you want to add more, heck, go for it. Like I like a good level of spice where it's spicy, but I'm not in pain trying to drink the thing. I don't get the like, you got to be super manly and have your mouth on fire. Like, that's not enjoyable to me. Like,
no, but the spicier, the more hair on your chest.
I'm good. I'm good.
I think I need some more spice, apparently. And I haven't done drag in like, I don't know how long. So my arm hair is so long and I play with my own hair. It's like, ooh, what's all this? Don't mind me, I squirreled. Yeah, I just pet myself. Go ahead.
I've only done it once, and I can't. I don't mind shaving, and that's fine. I used to like wax for when I was a boylesque performer, but then it's the growing back in that just no. Yeah. So I've thrown the drag away. Or what's the drag called when you have like a beard? I know there's like another name for it.
I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to be getting into that in the next couple of shows. Like when you do pageants with a full beard and all that. Yeah.
Okay, because that's kind of what I doing. Like glitter beard, I love doing a good glitter beard.
I used to have a singer that would come. I'd have a singer that came to do my show in Gatineau, and he would cover his beard in glitter too. It would look awesome.
It's great until you get home. If you forget to shower, you wake up and your bed's just set it on fire and start and buy a new one. There's no getting rid of it.
I live with Sheldon, so I'm not allowed any glitter anywhere.
Oh, I can imagine.
Although I do have some, but I contain it to one room.
Nice. So to keep adding to this thing, normally we just add in a little bit of salt and pepper, but I can't do anything basic. Basic scares me and actually turns me off. So what I've done here is I've added a little bit of coriander and cardamom. As a Latino person, I've got to add in coriander or cilantro to pretty much anything. That's just how I was raised. And the cardamom I found, instead of adding in citrus, it adds a lot of good citrus notes without having to add in lime juice or lemon juice into it. Because I just tend to add lime or lemon into pretty much everything. I'm like, no, I can't do that for every cocktail, but as long as I get the flavor, it's fine.
So I'm going to send out a challenge to you. I don't know if you know who Microgreens Ottawa is, but it's one of the sponsors of Blast the Radio. Yeah, you need to go see Jason and get some spices to make a couple of signature drinks there. That would be great.
So I've been emailing him this week actually because I've started working with a new restaurant, and there was a restaurant in Westboro, Grunge, I believe it was, or Grudge.
Okay.
And they use microgreens, but they would actually have the because he delivered to him in soil, and he would have it in soil on the bar. And so when he was making a salad or making a cocktail, he would pull it straight out from there. And it was just the wildest thing. I mean, you can't get any fresher than actually freshly picked right there in front of you. So the next bars that I do, I'm definitely trying to work with them.
Oh, you need to, because actually he was on the show a couple of weeks ago because he actually does want to go to Lookout with his wife to see a first drag show. But they would grow fresh mint. So when all the restaurants in the city are actually in service, they get the mint from him, and then he makes a big one of mint.
Well, that's because I go through mint so much in the summertime. My side yard, it's actually a full extra lot. We're turning it into a garden, but pretty much just a giant herb garden. So I'm never going to run out of mint things. But the other things that he grows, like edible flowers and various actual veggies and things that I don't have a green thumb. All the plant in here, they're all plastic. But I know mint.
I got one too, but it's real, and I'm only babysitting it because it's going to my partner's best friend. So.
Oh, nice.
But every plant that's normally near me has a flower on it, and then when I leave the area, the flower dies.
Oh.
Just saying. All right, so recap what you've done.
So we've added in jalapeno brine, Worcester sauce, salt, pepper, coriander, and cardamom, as well as chipotle. Now we can add in the vodka. So it's up to you, however much you want to add. I always tend to do mine as doubles, just because. Why not?
Yeah, 2 potatoes is good.
Yeah.
Filling it up.
And when we do the kits, actually, so I was thought like, oh, why would anyone want like these tiny little clamato things? But they're actually perfectly sized for an individual Caesar. I hate when I'm at home and you have that like giant thing of like, oh, I want a Caesar. You buy like the 2 liter or 4 liter clamato, and it's just like sitting there forever. No, just like so we send off like 4 little ones of these ones, 1 per, and it's like the perfect size for 1 cocktail.
So do you do them with tomato juice as well?
Yeah, but then that's a Bloody Mary.
Yes, I know. Because some people don't like the clam, right?
Yeah, I guess like if you're a vegan, you don't want to, or vegetarian, you don't want to put clam stuff in there, and that's perfectly acceptable. I've also done them with V8, and sometimes I actually prefer just like a V8 cocktail because it tricks me into thinking like, oh, I'm being healthy. Half a bottle of vodka later, like, no, it's just a liquid salad. I'm fine.
All right, get out of my head because that's exactly what I thought when we were at Fresco the other day. I bought some just because I hadn't drank any in a long time. And I'm like, you know what? Grape juice and lemonade. Like, I needed to change it up a little bit, so I got some tomato juice.
Nice.
V8. Eric looked it up and he said it's called Skag or bear drag.
Okay, I was like, what are you talking about, Skag? But bear drag, I like that. Bear drag, okay. Yeah, because I don't want to be all skaggy. Like, I'm still fabulous, and you call me a skag, I'm not going to enjoy that. But, like, bear drag, okay.
I'm starting to get like CNN. I got fact checkers out there for me, so it's great. It's wonderful.
Well, my wife and I were starting to do, whatchamacallit, a little bit more podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
And whenever she doesn't feel like being on camera, she'll just sit off to the side and just like fact check my stuff. We talk to each other. It helps because sometimes I'm like, oh, like what is the thing? And then I stop the video and I'm trying to look around. It's like, oh no, like she's right there. She can just like check up and tell me when we converse about it. So yeah.
I know it is fun. Like, I mean, I'm doing all this by myself and it's fun, but yeah, if I was in the studio and like a TV studio, it'd be so much better to be Jennifer Aniston and just show up, look pretty, read the teleprompter, and leave. But
yeah. But no, we have to make the teleprompter stuff. We got to do this and that. And like,
gotta plug it all in. I gotta think of all this. And by the way, we're gonna talk about this later, but Rush would like to congratulate you for putting a ring on it. You got married in September, right?
Yeah, it was a. We'll talk after. You know what? I'm going to make the drink, and then we're going to talk about that wedding because that wedding deserves a little bit of a cocktail while discussing it.
All right.
So the next and final thing that we're going to do is we're going to smoke the whole thing.
Oh.
So this is where mine really stands out from the others. Is I like having just a really foresty. You know, I mean, bears are in the woods, so let's light some things on fire.
So that's a portable smoker.
Yeah. It's a little bit loud, but...
and what are you burning?
So I have a proprietary blend. It is applewood that I've infused with Scotch.
Oh.
I bought a Scotch that it wasn't aged properly, like enough for me, and so I aged it using wood and a pressurizer, siphon. And then when it got to like just the right point, I took it all out. But then I had that wood that was infused with the Scotch, and so I just ground up that wood, and that's become my I got Scotch wood.
That sounds really good.
Mm-hmm. And if you're doing a Caesar at home and you want to make it a little bit extra fancy, instead of just sticking it in the glass, I like to do what's called throwing the cocktail. So you put it into one container and you swish it on back and forth. You get a nice little waterfall going. And what this does is it cools down the cocktail as much as possible with the least amount of dilution. Yeah. So when you shake it, you're adding in ice and you're breaking up the ice and it's adding water to your drink. And when you stir it, the same thing. This actually, I do a lot of like weird bar research. Like I love the chemistry of it all. And this is the best way to get it cold with adding in the least amount of water. Go. And then one more. And I always start by rimming the glass first. If you rim it at the beginning, as soon as you're ready to put it in, you're good to go. So let's just stick it in there. Oh, perfect measure.
So you're putting the regular celery salt along the rim.
Yeah, this is I've only got the regular celery salt right now for the crawl. Normally, when I do it myself, I like to add in a whole bunch more spices. A little bit of paprika goes in there a long way. Same thing, a little touch of cardamom, or on occasion, just whatever I have sticking around. My herbs, I like to, if I'm not going to use the whole thing, before they start to wilt, I dehydrate them, and then I create my own powders with them.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah.
Good idea.
I'm not the top mixologist just because I like to stick things in a glass. Oh no, there's science back there.
You know what? I completely agree, and that looks awesome.
It tastes awesome too. There you go.
So, well, this leads to a great question. Lillian's asking, where is this place located? So, where can we get these kits that you're talking about?
So these kits are going to be available for pickup from the Blue Cactus, starting on not this Friday, next Friday. So just
27th.
before the event is on.
I think it is.
But if you go to Bar Daddy by Jovan on Facebook, I'll have links right there for the 36-hour sale. And so you can, either pick it up the week afterwards, or we do have a delivery going around as well for those that don't want to leave the house. And of course, no contact delivery. I've been hibernating so much that I still don't really want to see people. So we're just like, okay, there you go. Like, okay, bye-bye.
I know. I feel like I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but even though things are reopening, I'm not ready yet, and I think we still need to take a little bit of time. But
yeah, no, it's with all there's a lot of scary stuff with the variants, etc. And it's just you know what, come out a little bit, kind of like the groundhog, you know,
yeah.
Or not, just a little bit. Okay, cool. Back in my hidey hole.
Yeah, my boss today and a couple of us were talking, and we're like, we actually can't wait to just put a nice dress shirt on and go out for dinner. Just go out for dinner, come back. That'll be good enough for me. But Lillian's asking if she can book an angel party. So can you were talking about groups earlier, right? That you can book an event for groups or people that want to be in a specific room?
Yes. So right now, I'm not the one orchestrating all of that portion. We have a team, LTE Entertainment, and they're actually speaking of top and faces, top event promoters in the city as well.
From Faces, okay.
Yeah. So LTE Entertainment, they're taking care of all the actual logistics in terms of putting people into groups and stuff. Yeah. But when you purchase your ticket, add a little request in the comments, and then we'll try to coordinate all that stuff afterwards.
Well, Lillian, I'm going to suggest that you go to Bar Daddy by Jovan on Facebook, and there's a contact us, or you can click on the website, which brings you to the website where you can submit a little contact, and then this way they've got your info, and you can give them more details on what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, or just message me directly through the Bar Daddy by Jovan there, and I'll see what I can do. I mean, I'm still down to communicate with people online. That's kind of what I've gotten used to right now.
Yes, well, that's what I think most of us are doing right now, right?
Just a little safer that way.
Yeah, so stick around for 2 seconds, Jovan. I'm going to show a couple of commercials because we do have some bills to pay. We're still looking for sponsors for the channel, so give me 1 second. We're going to go to commercials. I'm just kidding. We don't have any sponsors yet. Well, we have two. Gets No Point TV and Angelic Empowerment International. But if your business wants to be on this show or on my Capital Queer show on Sundays as well on blasttheradio.com, you can send me a message at andre@diversitycapital.tv. But we got some more questions for Jovan, so we'll be right back after this.
Not only are we in an age of a new age spiritually, but the world now more than ever needs light and empowerment. At Angelic Empowerment International Network, we can share, learn, grow, and even make friends with other enlightened spirits and souls. We are an energetic group with members who are spiritual teachers, healers, intuitive readers, intuitive artists, dancers, singers, and poets. We offer free healings, intuitive readings, meditations. And you can check them out on Facebook and on YouTube. Gatineau.tv est partout en Outaouais, autant au niveau de la culture, de l'événementiel, mais aussi au niveau de vos entreprises. Si vous avez un projet spécial que vous aimeriez promouvoir, un événement que vous avez créé, eh bien, n'hésitez pas à parler avec un de nos représentants à Gatineau.tv. Vous pouvez nous écrire via notre adresse info@commercialgatineau.tv. Vous aussi, prenez avantage de Gatineau.tv.
Gatineau.tv.
All right. So we are back, and I think I just heard your beautiful wife in the background. You want to tell us about the marriage in September?
Boy. Oh boy, indeed. So we originally planned it off as so I booked out Lansdowne Park, the Aberdeen Pavilion, and it was actually going to be the launch of Bar Daddy, because I figured, like, oh, if I do it as like a business thing, then I can like maybe save on the taxes and whatnot, like. And so it was going to be like a nice like 300 to 500 person event, like the whole day through. I'd booked like DJs from all over. I got like sound and light, and it was going to be a full on production. Also, because like I've thrown parties, but never like a festival.
Or wedding.
Or wedding. Yeah. No, it was totally about her. It wasn't about me or anything.
Yeah, Rush wants you to come on camera. Come on there, sweetheart.
Oh God, I'm not camera right now. My pajama. I was like literally crawling underneath the camera.
Yeah, she crawled on through. Like.
Well, you don't have to, but I think Rush wants to say hi.
Hello.
There you are. Hello. And what is your name, my dear?
Megan.
Megan, nice to meet you. I'm Andre.
Andre, pleasure.
So how did you two lovebirds meet?
I saw him I'm not from Ottawa. I moved here from Vanklekill to go to college, and I had met a friend who was like, oh, there's like this burlesque Wednesdays that go down like in the Bourbon Room. Bourbon Room.
Oh, that's where I've seen you.
And, so I saw him perform, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then what was it?
It was more than okay, cool.
Well,
but you know.
And then the next week I went back, and that's when all the performers wanted to go to Swizzles to do some karaoke, and they asked me to come along. I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I met him outside. He asked me for a lighter, and then sure enough, we stood out there and talked for like 40 minutes, completely forgetting about Swizzles and everything down there. So it was just like, oh, okay. And what, you forced yourself to wait a week to add me on Facebook.
It was one of those things where like, you know, like there's certain like rules. Oh, don't seem too desperate or whatnot, you know. And so like immediately I went home and I found out like who she was and stuff. I'm like, oh, a friend, like no, I have to wait a certain amount of time. Okay, like do everything like absolutely proper because I didn't want to screw that one up. But I was just like a man whore at the time, and so for me to like actually like, oh no, I want to wait and do this one properly. I knew like, okay, there's something there.
There's something there. Like one of my favorite quotes was from one of his friends, his colleagues at Kinky at the time. She told me like months and months after we were dating, she's like, oh yeah, I remember when Jovan, when the week he met you, he came into work and he's like, so I met a girl, and she made a joke being like, oh, like, you know, and he's like, no, she has her name. Her name's Megan, and it's just like, oh shit, like everyone actually started taking it seriously. So like, okay, I must be doing something right, you know. Like, but yeah, no, the wedding was definitely interesting because we, like you said, we booked out Lansdowne, everything. We were all ready. It was going to be like like we both love to host parties. We're both very social butterflies, so like the opportunity to have like this big extravagant, you know, event. Obviously, you only do it once. And then COVID happened.
Yeah. Well, even before so the COVID first happened, and then we're like, okay, well, you know what? We're not going to be able to do the September wedding at Lansdowne. Okay, let's cancel that. And we were able to get the deposit back. And then we're like, okay, well, we have too many people that I have a very large network, and she has a huge family. So we decided, okay, let's spread it out over 3 days. And so we had like a friends night, a family night, and then the actual ceremony. To actually do it with like like up to 30 people, 50 if we're lucky per day, and that way we'd actually be able to still party with everyone. But so 30 minutes. So we wanted to make sure that everyone had their COVID test and everything like that. We
got tested too.
We got tested like earlier on in the week. And when you go there, they do the swabs and stuff. Like, okay, you know, no news is good news. After 24 hours, you're fine.
Yeah.
And so 24 hours passed. Awesome, cool. The next day is the Friday, which is a friends night, and I'm there at Bar Lucy, which is the other bar that I'm part of, And what we were doing was I was giving off like the final directions to the staff. Like, okay, here's how the tickets work. Here's how everything works. So my phone rings and I don't even check. I just like pick it up. Like, okay, like who's this? Make it quick. Blah 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 blah. And it's Ottawa Public Health.
Oh.
I was like, oh no, hold on a second. Like I stop the staff and then I go down and they're like, yeah, so you actually tested positive for COVID.
Oh no.
You're gonna go into isolation right now. I'm like, okay, let me just quickly cancel my wedding.
Yeah. So you tested positive.
Yeah.
And how did you deal with it? What did it do to you?
Nothing.
There was we had zero symptoms. I was even tested negative, and I had to do a quarantine after his quarantine, so I was quarantined for about a month.
Yeah, because like her quarantine started when mine finished.
Yeah, and my sister, that happened too.
Yeah, but it was just one of those things. Like, and it's not that like COVID is nothing. Like I'm very lucky that I had like a little bit like sniffles per day. That's about it. And like, yeah, I got lucky, but it is
no
very
coughing,
serious.
no nothing. Like we were, but again, I was negative still. Like even I didn't, and we can't like what was it? Ottawa Public Health were like, oh guys, can't you like separate like in the same house? And like, yeah, you try and do that with a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah, you go right.
Yeah, it's kind of hard with a 1-bedroom.
Use separate bathrooms. Like there's one, so like she uses the toilet and I use the sink. It's
no, switch it around. Make her use the sink. No, I'm kidding. That would have been very difficult.
Right.
So,
right.
obviously, you walked around with a mask half the time, or you didn't. Like, did you just take the chance that you weren't going to get it, or?
No, we were like. I mean, I was a couple years ago. I was in Liberia during the Ebola crisis.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I've dealt with curfews, pandemic, like all that stuff, like having to wash your hands before going into any facility. So like when COVID started, it was like I just went straight to that mode where it's like no acceptance, like hand sanitizer literally right at the front door. When our packages would come, I'd like wipe it down with hand sanitizer before opening it, you know, kind of thing. Like we were so careful, we were so seriously taking it carefully. And it still wrecked our wedding. So at this point, it's like, you know what? As much as I could like then jump on the conspiracy wagons, like no. This virus does not care about your feelings.
No.
We just still got to work with it, which sucked.
Quickly on the mask thing, like it was one of the like I love my fashion, so does she. Like that's one of the things we love. Just like we'll make outfits for a night and go out and stuff. But like for the like we make our own masks. Got a moistly one here, like the week afterwards. And so we have like masks for like different outfits for everything, like even like one that like fully goes under the beard, like so I think we've got like 15 different masks right now, and then like a whole like that we've made, plus some store-bought and plus like more coming in. So like yeah, I love the mask thing, like and working as a bartender, I know that I'm seeing so many people, so it's one of those like, oh no, it's just it just comes with the territory. It's like I have to wear pants when I go outside. Okay, well I also have to wear a mask as well.
Yeah, it's part of our wardrobe now, and people are getting very creative with them and accessorizing with them, and
it's just even being careful. But it's just what it is. What it is. We contacted everyone that we knew, and like everyone else also came back negative. Literally everyone that we interacted with, like in that 2-week period, let's say. They were all coming back negative too. Like he was the only one that was positive, which was super crazy. Like
thankfully, so I mean, we think like, oh, maybe it was like a false negative or something. But I mean, going back and thinking that doesn't help the situation at all. So it's like, okay, no, cool, I got it. Hey, whatever.
Follow
protocol.
But we ended up actually last minute. Like, I mean, I looked flawless. I had my lashes on, my eyeliner on fleek. I looked like Alice Cooper by the end of the bad news. So good. I took a selfie. I might just share.
Oh yeah.
But so that following Saturday night, and we were just like, you know what? Screw it. Like, let's just get dressed here. At least we had our wedding wardrobe here, so we got dressed and we just threw some decorations on our side yard and just went on live stream.
Yeah. So
I mean, you were creative, and that's what you got to do in these times, right?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
we've
that's
all gotten creative.
He wasn't late, which was great. And so I win.
Well, that's one good thing.
We won.
Well, before we get into your business, because I understand you both have a business at home, Russian Noise wants to know if when everything opens up again, will you renew your vows?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. But in all honesty, I've had friends that have postponed their weddings to this year are now postponing it till next year. Because like we just don't know with all these waves coming through, and of course the complacency of many people that are in denial of this. It's what's causing more problematic issues with all these numbers. So I ideally would love 5 years from now, when vaccines are distributed, we all get to like learn with it, live with it, and hopefully it like gets submitted enough that we can continue a normal life, some form of normalcy, and then just have like a 5-year wedding anniversary giant extravaganza.
But we'd already settled this out because I'm originally from Nicaragua. My parents came here as refugees and immigrants, as a whole shebang bang. But it was one of those things that I have my wife. I'm going to take her back to my motherland and introduce her there to my family and stuff. So her parents got us round trip tickets to Nicaragua. And so when we finally do go, we're going to renew the vows at the top of my favorite volcano. And hopefully
I just want to touch lava.
You don't want to touch lava.
It looks like fun Play-Doh. It's like
no, honey, you can't touch it.
It's a second liquid, but I know I can't touch it.
Okay, all right.
Just like gravy is a beverage, but you cannot touch lava.
Gravy
can be a beverage.
Speaking of gravy for a second, and beverages. A lot of people they do something called a pickleback. So they'll do a shot of vodka and then a shot of pickle juice afterwards. And I could never stand that. At Kinky, there was and there still is, a poutine stand next door. Sasha's, oh my goodness. And one night I discovered the absolute best chaser for whiskey. And that is the gravy and cheese juice at the bottom of your poutine.
Oh.
So you do a shot of whiskey chased by like poutine juice.
Yep.
Just absolute heaven.
So if you have a vehicle, you need to go to No Force Given, which is in Findlay Creek on Bank Street.
We got to try that actually.
Oh my God, they're the best poutine. They're so good. Yeah. They have amazing burgers too.
All right.
Oh, sweet.
I'm on my diet. You can eat it for me and then tell me how it is.
Thanks.
You can give them kisses after to find out what it tastes like.
Let's see how many.
There's always a little bit of burger meat left in the mustache.
So what's your favorite drink to make?
To make, it's actually the most complicated drink. It's called a Ramos Gin Fizz. It takes about 12 minutes, and it tastes kind of like a smoothie milkshake type of thing. But when you add the soda to the end, I do mine with champagne instead. But there's a foam, and what's supposed to happen is the foam actually rises up out of the glass and it stays as a cylinder. So you have your regular Collins glass, but then like a piece of foam on top that just rises as you're pouring in. Bartenders hate making them, but it's just the ooh la la of it. I love making it for people. I don't make it for myself. What I love to drink is liquor in a glass.
Okay.
I'm a simple man for myself.
I like the Cork Survivor.
Yeah, I've gotten her. She's been getting this is a studio as well as a school, and so she's been learning how to make drinks. And yeah, her Cork Survivor #2 is bang on.
I can't remember what's in it right now. It's been a while since I made it, but
we'll do some trading afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to brush up on your bartending skills. So what is the business?
Great, though.
Your drinking skills, yeah, mine too. Mine are fantastic. So you were saying, Jovan, that you've changed your living room into a bar and another place for your beautiful wife to work.
Yeah, so this is like this was just like a regular living room, and she's like, oh, why don't you you're allowed to turn into whatever you want to. So at the beginning of the quarantine last year, we turned it into a bar, and then for second quarantine or third lockdown, I decided because the first one was just kind of thrown together, and I had shelves and a couple of things, and so now this is just my living room right here. I would show you the other part, but the lights will get in the way, and there's just so much junk right now. But we've turned it into a full fold out table. It's going to be a podcast studio essentially.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, because you were talking about your podcast that you both do, right?
Yeah, the Posh Delinquents podcast. We went to the NAC one night, and because I love the orchestra, and she brought mushrooms, and so we popped some mushrooms and listened to Mozart, and that's when we came up with the name Posh Delinquents, because we were like dressed to the nines and just like tripping balls.
Yeah, I'm giggling because I'm wondering why clapping is so amazing, like why everyone's clapping, and I'm just like.
Yeah, we're both looking down clapping. We thought like, oh, I didn't know they did like light shows with this stuff, the orchestra, and I realized like, oh no, that's just our pupils dilating. Like we're fine.
Well, I'm sure the people beside you must have thought you were quite the package.
Everywhere we go, they think that. Yeah. Yeah. If we're not loud in words, we're loud in fashion. So we don't have to say anything.
You've gotta have fun. You've gotta have fun. And then
right? the spare room, which was just basically a spare room, I finally converted to. Like when I moved in, I was allowed a corner because I love skulls, dragons, like gothic aesthetic, the macabre, you know, like that's all my aesthetic. And he's like, oh, well, you know, you can have like this corner of the room. So I had like a little shelf with some of my stuff on it. And obviously as you know, years went by, like I just kept getting more stuff. And I'm like, you know what? No, I'm taking over this room and I'm taking it as my craft room. So like I modified purses, starting to make like statement piece necklaces, like very avant-garde, very like you know, loud pieces, and then just modifying clothing and masks as well. So at least now I have a space that like when he's here and doing his thing, I have a space for mine, because especially with quarantine, like we got married, we never had a honeymoon, we never like we haven't been apart, we haven't killed each other, which is great, but we also need space.
I was gonna say
so, like having independent space is very important to us because we're both also very independent people. So, you know, I have my room to work in. He has the bar. He has, you know, all that jazz. So it works. It works for us definitely.
Yeah,
not killing each other.
Yes.
Well, yeah, being newlyweds is very difficult, eh?
Well, especially with COVID, I remember hearing reports like thousands of people getting divorced here in Ottawa. Like just like it was a make it or break it deal, you know. It's like, oh, suddenly I don't like seeing you more than 24 hours. Okay, I'm out, you know, like kind of thing. But no, like we actually, we married through a pandemic, and
well, we were going to go through couples therapy before getting married, just as a
recommended,
just as a recommended thing, like just to make sure we have like proper communication tools and stuff. But then the first lockdown happened, and we were like, locked in for several months at a time with each other. We realized like, okay, no, that was our couples therapy. Like we made it out of there unscathed. Like, you're still down, I'm still down, and
Well, that's good. I mean,
cheers to not killing each other.
Cheers to not killing each other. Yeah,
that is definitely a good thing. All right. Well, I am searching for the Burn the Floor video because I'm going to end off with that. But you were talking about as well that you're going full entrepreneur this year. What does that mean?
So I'm trying to seek out more contracts and stuff in terms of, so I like to do virtual cocktail things, not just with this crawl, but I've done a lot of like company parties. Yeah. So especially for Christmas and Halloween, I hosted a bunch of them from here and would kind of do the same thing where I provide, I'll provide a kit out to each member of the company, and then we all get together. We do like virtual mixology classes, and then they all just have a whole bunch of fun. Like I always schedule them for about 2 hours, but some of them have just gone on. But it's always better that way when they do decide like everyone like stick around, like let's actually have a party. Yeah. So there's that I'm doing, and then also trying to get before the pandemic happened, I was getting in with the museums and the art galleries, trying to do a bit more private catering bartending. And so what we're trying to get into right now is weddings and corporate events, but just
funerals too. Why not?
Funerals too. Heck, yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you really need a drink. And so those types of things that just I love working and having a steady job, but if I'm not at somewhere with a shift, I'd rather be out somewhere else experiencing new venues, talking with new clients, like doing custom cocktails and custom designs for people. It's just it keeps me creatively engaged, and that's really why I love bartending, is because I get to paint with flavors.
Yes.
and sometimes
You get to
actual
create.
edible paints. Yeah.
Well, that's very good. That's very cool. Any last words? Is there anything you want to remind people or?
Yes. Go to Bar Daddy by Jovan on Facebook and follow the links. There is a 36-hour sale on the Caesar kits. And if you guys want to do it with just your own special little group, send in a little comment when you guys buy your tickets. And other than that, anything to add, my love?
Stay safe, stay smart, and drink responsibly.
Yeah, and then and my regular sign-off, peace and cheers. But
Peace and cheers. Well, thank you so much for being here, and I appreciate you both being here.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's my pleasure. So now, oh, there it is. I'm going to push pause on this.
Which, by the way, like, what was it? The scene with Eric there, like when he winks at the camera and burned the floor. I was just like, that gave me shivers. I was like, oh, that wink, like that Eric did there. Like,
can I tell one little story about the burn the floor video?
Yes, and Eric is saying, "Tell me you love me, you guys. Miss you so much.
We love you so much.
I miss seeing you. I miss like, I just miss hugging you.
He's like a little child. Oh my god! I'm kidding. I love him.
So for that day, I brought my friend along, Tyrell. He was my best man. We've known each other since 1993, like for a good chunk of time at this point. And another straight guy, but and like very, very country. So I was like, oh, dude, it's a country music video. Come on in, get like sexy countryed up. So we did. And there was like different segments of the thing. At one point, they asked for all the girls to go in the back, and the girls go in the back. And I'm actually working that night as well as being in the video. And then they call for all the boys. And so I tell Terrell, like, okay, all right, let's go back in there, bud. And so we're sitting in that back, what you're looking at table. And the director says, okay, so now at this point, basically it's just going to be like a total love fest. Everyone start like kissing, groping, licking each other, just like have at her. And I turned back and my buddy's eyes throughout, they just like totally light up. I was like, I didn't know it was going to be like this gay. I was like, oh, well, it action. And so we just look at each other and we just start really sexually, sensually, just holding hands, just really aggressively with each other until he got comfortable. And then like I just started like grabbing and groping like everybody else. I think he did too. But just for like the first,
he was such a good sport.
He was a good sport about it. For the first 20 seconds, I was like, okay, sexual hand holding, warm me up a little bit, like.
It's a very good video. It's a very good video.
It was so much fun to shoot. Like
I'm actually proud. The cameraman liked me a little bit. I like that.
Yeah.
I like being in front of camera.
Well, Rush was saying he was directing that section, so it was his. He was assisting Terry. Terry was a great.
Terry,
was a great person.
He's great. Yeah, no, he's a phenomenal person too.
Oh yeah, no,
I miss all the gang, man.
I miss the gang. I'm going to talk to him, try to bring like a queer AF back again, because just having our weekly gay night was just a blast. Yeah.
We gotta pick a new place and just do it.
Yeah.
Done. I'll start looking.
And then all you have to do is drink. You don't even have to do anything else. Just show up and drink.
Yeah. I'll make sure I have some pink Whitneys for John if he comes along.
Yes, we have to work on a recipe for that because that's his home. That's the Milkey drink. So work on a really awesome drink for him. Well, thank you both so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing what you've got going on Facebook and all social media.
All right, mwah. Peace and cheers.
Take care.
Thank you, darlings. Well, I want to thank you all for being here with me for this DITC Social on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and blasterradio.com. So, we did the commercials. So now we've got the new show that's going to be coming up. So before I end the show with the Drake Jensen Burn the Floor, there is a new version of the show coming up. But first I want to talk about Saffron and Chives. Rayad has got an amazing meal coming up in the next couple of days. So it's a Guyanese cuisine primarily. See, and I didn't think about this properly because my screen is over there. So, Guyanese cuisine celebrates cross-cultural flavors of primary Indo-Afro heritage, bringing together flavors of the fresh herbs, meats, vegetables, and coconut milk to produce delicious curries, soups, and salads. So you can get your meal, $16 each, minimum of 2 per order. And here is all the info on where you can contact him. You only have till a certain day to order your meals. So make sure you go to Saffron and Chives on Facebook. We'll put the info up on the Facebook page, so you will see that and know where to be able to find it. So next week, DITC Social is going from the sit-down Ellen style interviews to more of like an ET talk show, news, information, TMZ kind of show. We're going to have fun with it. I don't want to have to put so much work into it, so I want you folks to give me the topics that you want to talk about. What do you want to see? I'm starting to put a team together of different correspondents that are going to come on every week, and they're going to take a 10 or 15-minute segment and just talk to you all about whatever they want to. So I'm opening it up to everybody. Send me a message at andre@diversitycapital.tv. Anyone is welcome to come on and talk. Whatever you feel like what are you watching? We're watching The Extent, Charmed, Prodigal Son, Christopher Maloney's new Law and Order that I can't wait for coming out, Legacies, Snowpiercer, and of course, The Masked Singer Season 5 is coming too. So there's going to be lots of that coming up that we can talk about. But please make sure you support local LGBTQ2+ businesses. Most are all online, so please support your local commerce by going to their site and buying something to give to that special someone. Only you can spice up your life. There are plenty of local businesses and entrepreneurs to choose from. Thank you all for being here live with me from Finley Creek and from your homes. I wish you all lots of love and goodness during this time. And I look forward to seeing what you all have got going through on social media. Don't worry, I am snooping and creeping all of your Facebook pages to see what you've got going on. Like and follow us on Facebook so you can get everything up to date. Next week, it's a new format, as I just said. So if you want to be a part of it, send me a message on the diversitycapital.tv Facebook page. Or you can message me, on andre@diversitycapital.tv. Please go to blasttheradio.com as you are now. Some of you are, some of you aren't. And listen, it's an amazing radio station. TV, because I've got the Sunday show in my head. It's a radio station, which is awesome, with John the Milkman, Milkey, every morning with the brouhaha, starting at 9 a.m., also featuring a bigger, better boogie break at 10:30. All streaming live on, mainly Twitch and blasttheradio.com, so you can ask your smart speaker to play Blast the Radio. My feature show, remember Electric Circus? Well, every Sunday, Blast the Radio presents Capital Queer Tea Dance with DJ Dis Moi Oui. We bring you back to the gay old times when we all had fun. Featuring songs from MKTO, Faith Evans, Rita Miss Soku, Ria May, Fleuriste, and local LGBTQ2+ singer-songwriters such as Drake Jensen, that I'm going to play in a few moments, as well as acoustic soul singer Kimberly Sundstrom, who we've been featuring as well. Pour yourself a cocktail, dust off those platform shoes, and put on your favorite cleaning outfit. And join us on BTR every Sunday from 2 to 5 with DJ Dis Moi Oui. Tell your smart speaker to play blasttheradio.com or watch us on twitch.tv at /diversitycapital.tv. Oh, Daddy's getting tired. There's so much to say. Have a good weekend, Ottawa Gatineau, and I look forward to seeing what you've all got going on. Give me one moment. I need to pick the screen. And this, when you have a teleprompter in your face, you can't see anything. Here we go. Enjoy.
It's been a long week, baby, come and see me, maybe. The let's try the weekend on. Everybody gather round and let's listen to the sound, 'cause we're all Friday bound. Got your boots, your favorite blue jeans on. Gonna paint the town from dusk till dawn. Get to the club and through the door, gonna hold on, gonna burn the four-wheel, burn the floor. I'll spin you around and do-si-do, this Friday's gone before we know it. Burn the floor, make our fire burn. Burn the floor. We'll be dancing every minute, put our heart and soul right into the DJ country sound. And I'll hold you even closer when the night is finally over and there's no one else around. You've got your boots, your favorite blue jeans on. And we'll paint the town from dusk till dawn. Get to the club and through the door, gonna hold the line, gonna burn the four-wheel, burn the floor. Spin you around and do-si-do, this Friday's gone before we know it. Burn the floor, make our fire burn the floor. Got your boots, your favorite blue jeans on. And we paint the town from dusk till dawn. Get to the club and through the door, gonna hold the knot, gonna burn the four-wheel, burn the floor. Spin you around and do-si-do, this Friday's gone before we know it. Burn the floor, make our fire burn the floor.
Welcome. You are about to enter a place you've never been before.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Theo Tams and you are watching Diversity in the Capital.tv.
Greetings, Ottawa, Canada. This is Chad Michaels from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Hi, Ottawa and Gatineau. I'm Carol Pope, and you're watching Diversity in the Capital.
Hello, Ottawa. It's your girl, Sofonda.
Hey, it's Eva Avila.
Hi, I'm Ria May, and you're watching Diversity in the Capital.tv.
Diversity in the Capital.